everybody, and welcome to the Arts and Crafts series here at Excite All Stars. My name is Coach Idris, and this is Lesson 1, Pinwheels. I'm going to be teaching you how to do a very cute and simple craft that you can do probably with the things you have at home right now. Now, it has been pretty windy in New Orleans the past couple of days, so I thought it might be a good idea to make some pinwheels that will spin in the wind. How about it? Let's do this. What you're gonna need is you're gonna need some paper. You can use colorful construction paper. You can use scrapbook paper, which is also normally very beautiful. You can have your parents print out some patterns on regular paper. You can use whatever you want. For mine, I'm gonna use some construction paper. And if you have plain paper, you can always decorate it, make it look however you want it to look. So I am going to use green because green is my favorite color and it is spring right now and there's lots of green happening. So the first thing you're gonna need, of course, is paper. You're going to need a pencil with an eraser on the back. You're going to need some scissors, coloring tools if you want to decorate your pages or your page. And lastly, you're going to need something like a tack. Okay, I'm going to be using a tack. You can use a push pin if one of your parents has a sewing kit and they have push pins in there. But it's definitely something to poke through and hold down. All right, let's begin. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make your page a square. The way I'm going to do that is pretty simple. You're just going to fold over one side like this, and that way all the sides of your paper can be equal. I like to be really precise when I'm folding my paper down. So there we go, and you just double it down. Okay, now what you're gonna do is you're just gonna cut along this folded edge here so that your paper can be a square. Be very careful with the scissors. This is my concentration face. Boom. Okay, now we have a square page. Lovely. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your ruler and your pencil, and you're going to mark from one corner of your square to the other. You're just going to draw a line. Pretty simple. And you can do so on the other side as well, even though we already have this really lovely fold, so you actually don't even really need to do it on the other side. But what you are going to need to do is mark a spot about 3.5 inches down each of those lines, okay? So 3.5 inches down from every corner. Okay, we got a nice fold here and we have our line here. So from every corner, 3.5 inches down, mark a line. Boop. And a boop. And a boop. If you have the same type of size paper that I have, then from one corner to the center is about 6 inches. So from one corner to the other corner, it's 12 inches, so a foot. You can make your pinwheels larger or smaller, but when you're making your line or marking, I would go a little bit over halfway. A little bit over halfway down. That's why instead of 3 inches, we did 3.5 inches. So just feel it out when you're making it if you're doing it at a different size. All right, now we've got our 4 markings. Boop. Well, it's there. I don't know if you can see it, but they're there. We got our markings. Now we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut from the corner to the marking. Be very careful as you do this. You're just gonna cut down, kind of dividing these corners in half, down to the marking that you have drawn. So it's gonna look a little bit like this. All right, one more. Cutting down to the marking. Be careful, if you make a mistake, you can always try again. If you cut a little bit too far, I don't know, maybe just push forward and see how it goes. I don't know that it will necessarily destroy the whole project if you go a little bit too far. It'll probably be fine. So you're cutting down the lines to the markings, and now you've got these floppy ends on your four corners. Yay. Okay, we're done with the scissors and with the ruler. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your tack or your push pin, and I have underneath my page a cutting mat. So when I poke my push pin through, which I'm about to show you, it just pokes into the cutting mat. Nothing underneath gets damaged, so just keep that in mind. Maybe you have some cardboard underneath or something like that. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a hole. You're gonna punch a hole in the center of your square. Don't leave the tack in, just poke a hole in there. And then you're also going to, all right, you're gonna poke a hole in one of these sides, only one of them. So pick a side, left or right, okay? I am going to do mine on the right side, my right, your left maybe. So I'm gonna pick the right floppy, and you're going to basically poke a hole about 1/4 of an inch down from the corner, so like right in here, because you don't wanna poke it too close to the actual corner because it could tear. So I'm just gonna poke it right in here, and I'm gonna do it on this side. I guess I'm looking at the left now, but it's backwards. I'm gonna do it on this side for every one of the corners, okay? Do it on the same side. All right, so like I said, I'm doing my right. So I'm gonna poke a hole 1/4 of an inch down there. I'm gonna poke a hole 1/4 of an inch down there, 1/4 of an inch down here, and 1/4 of an inch down here. So now I've got holes poked on one side of each of my floppies. When you have that, you're gonna take your tack or your push pin. You're not gonna fold these edges over, but you are just going to kind of lay it down like this and poke your tack through the first hole. Just poke it through so that it kind of like sticks out a little bit, and you're going to do the same thing with the next one. So you're gonna hold it over and poke it through underneath. So now it looks like this. I've got my pokey side. I'm gonna do it the same thing with the next floppy. Oh, and it's coming together. And I've only got one floppy left. So I'm gonna do the same thing. You might have to just maneuver it a little bit so that you can poke your tack through. And now I've got myself a nice little beginning of a push pin. So once you have all four sides in your tack, you're going to poke your tack through the center of the whole thing. So now it looks like this. And you've got your tack poking out the other side, okay? And what you're gonna do with that now is take your pencil with the eraser and you're gonna poke it into the eraser. Have a nice, boom. Would you look at that? Wee, wee. Wow, mesmerizing. It works. And that, my friends, is how you make a pinwheel. Now, as I said, you can decorate this if you want. In fact, I might just do that right now. I'm going to draw a couple of flowers on my pinwheel. That is not the best flower, but there it is. I'm gonna draw another one here. And you can keep going like that. Decorate your pinwheel. You can put glitter on it if you want to. You can draw many different things on each of the wings. It is completely up to you. And then you can watch it blow in the wind. If we have more wind coming, that is. There's my little pinwheel. Nice and green. I'm trying to blow it so you can see it, but there it is. Thank you for participating in lesson 1 of the Arts and Crafts series here at Excite All Stars. My name is Coach Idris, and I'm gonna catch you next week on a new lesson, and we'll see what we can make next time. Hope you had fun, and hope you have a lovely day. Stay safe, guys. Bye.